Welcome back to Squawk Box. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin is hoping her new tax plan will take the Sooner State to new fiscal heights by reducing the state income tax. Here now to explain is Governor Fallin. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning.
If I'm looking at what would be the perfect conservative playbook, what a lot of people would hope for in the Conservative Party, it would be exactly what you're trying to do here, right? Which is eventually eliminate the income tax, but in the short term, go from a lot of tax brackets to just a few, correct?
Absolutely.
Explain more.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things we're trying to do in Oklahoma is to create a fair, lower, flatter tax rate that is simpler for Oklahomans to operate in. You know, we believe that the states that have the lower income tax or no income tax, and in fact, studies will prove this, have the fastest job growth rate and also are the best performing states in the nation, especially during this economic downturn. We know that there was a study done that said there was a 59% growth in states that had no income tax or low income tax versus a 38% growth in states that had higher income tax. And certainly that correlates with job creation. So what we're proposing in Oklahoma, and I laid out yesterday, is that we're going to reduce our top income tax rate from 5.25% down to 3.5%, and then on down to 2.25%. So the way it breaks out is, if you're a couple making $0 to $30,000, you'll have no income taxes. So that way we help the lower income people. From $30,000 to $70,000, you'll pay 2.25%, and then from $70,000 up, it'll be 3.5%. And you know, one of the things we're trying to do is to also make sure that we don't starve state government, that we protect the poor.
I was going to say, what do you think the impact is going to be on revenues?
Well, the impact on revenue is, the way we're going to pay for this is, and I have three ways to do this. One is we're going to eliminate carve-outs, loopholes, tax credits that are underperforming, and just tax credits that we're going to exchange out for lowering the income tax, and in some cases for people who will pay no income tax that are at the lower income tax bracket. And then secondly, we're going to continue to do what we've been doing, and that is to focus on eliminating government waste and making government more efficient and effective. And I've already proven we can do that. We did that this year. We consolidated our IT services. We're focusing on energy efficiency in Oklahoma.
Where does that get you? Does it get you break even? Does it get you with more revenue, less? What?
It actually is budget neutral at this point. And of course, as you focus on years out, we hope to gradually lower the income tax even more by 0.25% each year until hopefully the income tax is eliminated. But we've also built in a safety net, a 5% growth trigger. So if our nation should go through a national economic downturn, there's a safety net there for us.
If it's revenue neutral right now and you eventually plan to have zero income tax, how do you pay for state government at that point?
Well, the other third point that I want to mention, too, is that we believe that our economy will continue to grow. Right now, Oklahoma has seen double-digit revenue growth. Our unemployment rate is 6.1%, one of the lowest in the nation. We're ranked third in the nation in job creation right now. We've also reduced $6 billion out of our unfunded liability of our pension system. So we believe that if we do the right things to create a better business climate, that we're focusing on lowering the tax burden on our citizens, making government more efficient, more modernized.
Can I clarify the one thing? When you totally abolish, are you talking about right now for people under $30,000, or do you mean everybody would eventually not have to pay income tax, like the state of New Hampshire, for example?
Well, we hope in the end that over a period of time, and that's based upon how the economy is doing, that we'll abolish the income tax altogether.
So the spirit of Becky's question is, where does the money come from? In New Hampshire, for example, they've got a sales tax,
taxes,
right, or a fast food tax, exactly.
Well, we'll still have our other taxes that we have, our corporate income tax, our excise taxes, our sales taxes, and other sources of revenue, motor vehicle sales tax, gross production tax. I mean, there are lots of other sources of revenue for our state. But as I said, we got a safety net built in there based upon the economy and how we're performing.
What percentage of your state tax dollars or your state revenue is coming from the income tax right now?
Well, it's close to about a third. It's $1.9 billion out of a $6.6 billion budget that we have in our state. And, of course, that's why we're gradually going to be lower these income taxes.
Right.
But our tax cut will be effective January 1st if my plan goes through, and it'll be immediate, and it'll help Oklahomans.
Just time to talk to the governors of New Jersey and New York.
We're having a side conversation here. Well, tell me about the cost of government in your state, and whether or not you've been able to move government workers from defined benefits to just defined contributions.
Well, we haven't done that yet, but we're certainly looking at that, and that is something that we hope to continue to pursue. But I will tell you, this past year, we passed over 4 pension reform bills in the state of Oklahoma. We had a $16 billion unfunded liability in our pension systems, and in 1 year, in fact 6 months actually, that we were able to reduce our unfunded liability by $6 billion just by the reforms that we passed. A couple things that we did increase the retirement age on some of our pension funds. We also said that we weren't going to have automatic COLAs, cost of living increases, in our pension systems unless there was money to pay for it. Smart, prudent budgeting.
This is what a lot of people would like to see happen on the national level when it comes to a Republican candidate and what some would hope would be eventually a Republican presidency. How do you see the state of the Republican race right now when it comes to the presidency?
Well, I think it's been a very heated, spirited debate on the issues that are important to America. I'm glad that on the Republican side we're focusing on jobs, the economy. I think that's what people want to hear. I think they want to hear how we're going to restrain and bring back in spending in Washington, D.C., how we're going to
Who do you think should be the nominee?
Well, I'm endorsing anyone right now, but it certainly looks like Governor Mitt Romney is doing well right now.
And you'd be happy with that? Comfortable?
Well, you know, one thing I'm looking for in a candidate is someone that is going to focus on right-sizing government, controlling spending, certainly working towards policies that will create a better business environment for our nation, someone who will not hurt businesses but help businesses, and someone who has integrity, someone who is trustworthy, and someone that will work hard and, of course, be strong on national security, invest in infrastructure, those type of things.
Governor, pleasure having you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you, too.
Governor Mary Fallin.